Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So I'm interested in talking about MGTOW and feminism and the media and the society and the culture in which we live. You know, the thing is whatever it is you believe, that's it. Everything is then limited through that lens. So you have to be very careful, very thoughtful in the conclusions, that you hold on to. And feminism, as it is being controlled by cultural Marxism and the left, is a destructive element. It's a strong influence on the cultural mind. And if it's hostile to you as a group, as is becoming increasingly frequent, it's a very difficult, uncomfortable position. The feminists that we deal with are radicalized, and therefore they're very dangerous. And to bring other women into this mindset, it's predicated upon hating men and viewing men as this ageless oppressor. And while there are oppressive aspects to, human nature, that's not what man is, even if that's what some men have done and are, but the radical feminist isn't really concerned with these distinctions. She's already made up her mind, and thus it becomes the lens which colors her entire perception. And of course, what we're witnessing is this attempt to make that vision, that conclusion, the assumption within society, and that's what's happening. So, men in general are becoming increasingly marginalized, and it's a stripping away of their rights. This is a multi-stage operation, and I think everybody knows that. I mean, this is how it's done. You demonize and blame a particular group. You focus all your rage and hostility on them, and there you go. And women are particularly susceptible to this because they don't have the mindset of going their own way. You could just as well whip up this type of resentment and hatred towards any group. And, what most men don't realize is that it's aimed at them. And that even comes down to a personal level, a very personal level. You exist with females who think that you're the enemy. And that's becoming the prevalent view throughout society largely. And this is a precursor towards even more dehumanization. Men are being falsely accused and imprisoned, fired from their jobs. And it occurs in this background of resentment. Resentment has always been, the key to inciting the cultural mind. It truly is. It's what, largely shapes our governments, our politics, our media, our educational system, all of the assumptions, our legal system, all of the assumptions that just go into it, and this assumption that, men are the enemy and oppressive is a false assumption, that men have been oppressing women for thousands of years. It's false. It's incorrect. It's a lie used to justify, this horrid, animalistic, dangerous behavior that we witness in these, feminist rallies. And I know that we want to view this, especially as men, as, an indulgence, like your kid listening to, music that you don't like or something. But it's much more than that. And men are suffering as a result. And not only are they suffering, they're suffering by intention, by design, with gusto. They're being pursued, and their suffering is being not merely, tolerated, it's actually sought out and gleefully experienced, as if this is in fact justice, when the assumption, that men are the enemy is incorrect, and it always has been. And certainly you personally, are probably not the enemy. Well, maybe you are. So men are forced to become MGTOW, to go MGTOW, because what are you going to do? Participate in a system that wants to destroy you? And many men do. Many people do. I suppose the question becomes, would you rather be with a group of people who are delusional, but you're with the group, and you're largely safe? I mean, if you're a child or a frightened woman or a frightened person, then if the group wants you to believe something that's not true, what difference does it make? You can go along, especially if, your survival is on the line. But if you're a free and independent man who takes care of himself, or if that's your mindset, why would you go along with these delusions? Especially when these delusions are directed at dehumanizing you, or even just lowering your status within the group based on false false assumptions, based on, false ideas. Why would you go along with that? You wouldn't. And you would go, and here's MGTOW. And it's not this incredibly new message. I mean, it is, but it is a message of freedom and independence. So, this is like a natural human state that we strive for. This is how we have to exist in the world. You have to figure it out for yourself. I could tell you anything. Anybody can tell you anything, but you still have to piece it together and figure it out. So when people tell you, to assume things that without question, now you have to, as a child, you have to, if you want to be part of that group, but as a man who has to do a job, as a person who has to do a job, you can't really afford to do that. You know what I mean? Like if somebody says, put the building up on sand, and just have faith, you're going to be like, no, I'm going to, put it on a solid foundation. And I won't just go along with that because I know better. And just this, knowing this independence, this freedom of thought, it threatens many people. It's like, obviously, this person is not part of the group. Obviously, this person will not go along with convenient lies. And we can't really tolerate that. And heaven forbid that they should speak out in a manner that compels and, influences other people. And to a large degree, that is your mission, is to develop a voice that speaks out clearly on these important issues. Now, you don't have to, but I'm suggesting this is, it's just like natural. Like you seek out your own welfare and you speak out in favor of it. And when you're being treated unfairly, you go your own way. So I think it's very important. I think it's a very important quality. I think it's something that you have to build. I don't think it's something that, we naturally see, we do naturally have it. That's the whole thing. We strive towards it. And as it's denied us, as we're pressured to not exercise it, we become ostracized from the group. And this is happening more and more with stronger and stronger lies, which is a precursor to completely dehumanizing and stripping a group of their rights. This isn't hard to see. Now, we could suggest that women have a kind of natural resentment towards men, and, or even that the female of any species has a natural resentment towards the male of the species. But what if it goes too far? And it seems to be going too far. Has feminism gone too far? That's the question. Another thing is that I don't think this is the first time this has happened. I think this happens in advanced civilizations. I think as the civilization, as the cultural mind grows and is more capable, people try to influence it and curry its favor with lies. This too is not, a revelation. So I think that's the environment that men and boys are finding themselves in. People want to say, well, I suppose you could say, any free and independent thinking individual that wants to assert a voice of reason and speak out for their own welfare. But I think we've covered some of the reasons why different people and different times of your life, you're more or less inclined to do so. Like, as a child, you can't disagree. Nor am I suggesting that you would have to assert your independence all the time on everything. Like if somebody says to you, nice day, you don't have to then go and, assign values to the various qualities of the day and then add them up and then determine it or strongly disagree with them. You can just say, yeah, nice day. No problem. Even if it's not such a nice day for you, it's still not a problem. But are you going along with a lie? Have you betrayed yourself in doing so? And I don't think it's even worth considering, because I don't think you have. But, what about on these larger issues? Like, are you a good parent? Your estranged spouse suggests otherwise. I'm going to leave it at that for now. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. And please like, share, comment, subscribe, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to and hope to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.